Hey guys, so here is our third installment in the virtual field trip files. This is Acadia National Park. It's very far north on the East Coast in Maine. So my family and I traveled here in June of 2019, and you can tell, you don't always just tell from the way the pictures look, but you can definitely tell from how we're dressed when you can see people in the pictures but it's pretty cold. It was misty and rainy and
That's
very
pretty
chilly
amazing.
when we were there, even though we were there in late June, which is an interesting contrast to the Everglades, which were hot. Hot enough that you'd want to get in the water and wait around and wear short sleeves or even shorts in December. Um, so it's really interesting to me to see how two ecosystems in the United States in the same country can have very different climates and very different landforms. Compare it to Big Bend if you just watch that video, which is all so much desert, little scrubby plants and cacti. Here on the coast in Maine, there are huge rocks, very different from the beaches on the coast in North Carolina, right, where we have
Nothing good.
sand and it gets kind of flat. It's mountainous, and you can see us here climbing on gigantic rocks right there on the ocean, and bundled up because it's chilly, and the breeze coming off the ocean is even colder. You can see lots and lots of evergreen trees there on the coastline, and throughout a lot of the pictures very different both from Everglades and from Big Bend because instead of small scrubby plants or the kinds of smaller, mostly hardwood trees that you see in the Everglades, it's very lush. Look at all those ferns, lots of evergreen trees because it is chilly there, and lots of moss on the ground. Everything is very damp. It's a climate that receives a lot of rain, very different from Big Bend, but also different from the Everglades because you'll see that there are some marshy, boggy areas, and there's all this wonderful green moss on the ground, and it's all puddle back there. But it's not flooded. It's not a wetland like the Everglades, largely because everything is at such a high altitude. It's mountainous in a lot of areas, and you're much higher up, which adds to the fact that it is colder. You can see on the state it was a little bit warmer, but there we are in the beginning of the day wearing our fleeces and everything,
Ooh, it's
checking out a
wet.
pond. So Acadia is very different from both Big Bend and the Everglades and from home here in North Carolina. Although in some of these pictures, I bet you can imagine that being pretty similar to, say, a hanging rock or a pilot mountain near where we are. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you also the amazing ecosystem that is Acadia National Park. Stay tuned.